guys have a good relationship with him. You've known him for years.
Wonderful guy, and it was great to see his wife Carolyn here as well. He was with Ole Miss from '93 to '98, won 2 SEC West titles, and you will not meet a nicer man.
Yeah, and he's been a head coach at several places. Of course, he went to Arizona State, where you were very familiar with him. And I knew Rob extensively at Ole Miss when I was working and doing a lot of the Southeastern Conference games. And I think he's a terrific, terrific help, and will be to Jim Christian, because when you've got that kind of experience on your bench, that could be nothing but a positive.
He got a guy out of the state of Texas by the name of Ike Diago, who played at Arizona State. Tremendous player at 6'8", about 260 pounds, and everybody in America was after Ike, but Rob Evans got him. Ole Miss with the basketball, trailing by a point. This is Terrence Henry. He's tough to defend, particularly going to his left. Spins back to his right, and they call him for a travel. Good defense by Carlin Green.
Yeah, it's the second turnover now he's had on the picking up and moving that pivot foot that he shouldn't move.
Williams comes back in for McKinney. Thorns remains the point guard. He has 1 assist in this game, has missed his first 2 shots, so in the last 2 ball games he's having a tough time. Just 3 for 16 from the floor. But he's directing the team offensively much better. Fields. No. Somebody got banged hard, and I believe it was a TCU player who threw him down.
Craig Williams. It was a takedown. Probably got 2 points for it.
That is not like St. Croix bond. St. Croix just 45 to 50 miles south of us here in St. Thomas Islands, and that's the island that Craig Williams hails from. He has a lot of family and friends here who made the journey to cheer him on.
A pretty nice player to come from that island by the name of Tim Duncan. He's
not bad.
Good career, too.
Henry going to his left, knocks it down.
Oh, is he good? I mean, for a guy 6'10", he plays like a 6'3" guard.
I'm surprised they don't make sure he touches the ball every single offensive possession.
But also, you got to look back at the 2 turnovers he's had. I mean, sometimes he forces the issue. I mean, he takes that extra step, and it gets them in trouble and gets him in trouble.
Thorns goes baseline. No good.
Good rebound by Henry.
Dundrecous Nelson will be fouled, and it's a blocking foul against Nate Butler. Butler's another guy from the islands. He's from Puerto Rico, played his prep ball at Mississippi's elite Christian high school. May have gotten a look from Ole Miss, but chose TCU instead. That was after a spell at Logan College, junior college in Illinois. Dundrecous Nelson will be at the free throw line, a 67% foul shooter this year. And Nelson is a great scorer. I mean, he holds the Ole Miss freshman scoring record with 30 points last year against Auburn. Now in his sophomore year, really trying to pick things up. 1 of 2. Anderson to McKinney. Adric back in the game. Great defense, but McKinney could not hold on. That's a couple of passes, though, that Thorns has thrown below the belt.
Yeah, and when you're going to make a pass, you're a point guard. Make sure you hit the guy somewhere in the waist. Don't throw it at his knees or at his ankles. It's too hard to pick up, particularly when you're that deep down inside near the basket.
J.R. Cadden. They swing it left to Green. Almost threw it away, but Anderson saves it. Still 10 on the shot clock. Looking for the screen, looking for the pick and roll, but McKinney forgot to roll to the hoop. And here's a steal by Ole Miss. Nick Williams all the way, lays it up and in.
Nice move to protect the ball with his body. He got Anderson away from him so he couldn't reach in and steal it. Good defensive anticipation over there by Williams on that wing.
Ole Miss is led by as many as 8. Now they're up by 4. Thorns misses the 3. He's now 0 for 3 in the game, but his teammate Cadden came down with the basketball and is fouled by a Rebel.
It was like Nick Williams might have picked up that foul. He undercut him as the ball kind of caromed off the back of that rim. Look at that steal right there. Nice play by Nick Williams. Now, see, Anderson's trying to get there, and he just wards him off. Maybe uses that right arm a little bit to maybe push him off. Pro football, they call that offensive interference.
Sometimes they do. I don't know how many times they'll see that wide receiver give a little shove, and if he is an all-pro player, they'll let him shove a little bit. J.R. Cadet at the free throw line. J.R. a 74% foul shooter.
Steve, how about the shooting by Ole Miss so far? 12 out of 14. 8 for 23 for TCU. They got a lot more shots, but certainly Ole Miss has been more productive. Yeah, that has been a problem.
Nelson down the lane, taps it to a teammate. Henry forcing the issue. Can't score, tries to bounce it against the backboard. Here comes TCU. Thorns gives it up to his teammate, who knocks it down. J.R. Cadet.
Cadet is so adept at going down that lane and kind of trailing the play. Watch this now. You won't see him until the very last moment, coming right down there. Thorns turns, looks, there's Cadet coming right down the lane, and he's the trailer on that play. You got a couple of initial guys you look for on the break. If it doesn't materialize, look for the guy trailing. Cadet was wide open.
Thorns with his second assist of the ball game. Mississippi, despite shooting 75% in this ball game, only leads TCU by 1. And the Horned Frogs only shooting 37%. Buckner is double. TCU comes up with the steal. Anderson. Oh, no. Thorns again with a pass around the knees.
Did they have an opportunity there? I mean, not only the missed layup, but Thorns turned around. He had a wide open shot at the basket. Watch this. Now, here's the layup. Pretty good play by Henry to make sure he gets it up and high off the glass. Thorns had a wide open look at it, and he couldn't do anything with it. Made a very poor pass, too low for him to pick it up, and TCU lost it out of bounds. I know Jim Christian probably is dying over that one.
Inside 4 minutes to play in the first half. Holloway squaring up on McKinney, slides right by him, and they say that Edrick went over there and slipped his right knee into his side and fouled him. Ole Miss will be at that line when we come back, leading by 1. Glad moved up 5 spots is Marquette. They went from 21 to 16.
And I think that ranking of number 16 is well deserved. I think this is a very solid club. You noticed that there were 3 teams in the Big East in the top 10 right there. I think Syracuse, Connecticut are really going to be tough to beat. And Louisville's going to have a good year, too. I mean, Rick Pitino's put together a really solid group. I tell you what, you throw Marquette into that mix, that's 4 pretty good basketball teams.
Fans, stay with us because Marquette will be playing in the championship game of this U.S. Virgin Islands Paradise Jam. That will be our 9:30 local time game, 8:30 East Coast. Marquette against Norfolk State, a team they beat by 31 1 week ago. Mississippi goes up by 3 points with a pair of free throws. Kean Anderson dribbling off the right side. He's back at the point. Fields.
Nice.
Knock it down.
Nice. Good handoff by Anderson that time. I was watching that time as Amrick Fields was coming around. Like a wheel play. He came right around the top. There it is, the little flip pass, and he took the blow on the arm, still got it up, got the roll. Basket chance for a 3-point play.
Some people say that Amrick Fields is their best pro prospect. I mean, he's just a sophomore. Great size at 6'9", 215. So we've got to remember that he's 19 years old, and with the shot you talked about, terrific future.
He's got a lot of quickness, a lot of speed. His footwork and his handwork are really good.
Holloway, spot right there. Now return it. It's J.R. Cadet. Or excuse me, Reginald Buckner, excuse me.
Well, Buckner was right on top of it. He was a good 8 or 10 inches above that rim on the follow.
And he has not scored well this year, just averaging a little over 3 points per game. But he does average over 7 rebounds per contest. A TCU miss, a chance for Ole Miss to go back up by 4 or 5. Dundrecous Nelson back in the game. He'll take the 3 and miss.
It is the first 3-point field goal Ole Miss has attempted.
Let's go to Laura.
Guys, in the huddle just now, Andy Kennedy was saying, let me tell you all why they're still in the game, referring to TCU. He said, look at the stat sheet. They have 11 offensive rebounds. That's what we need to stop. He said we need to block shots and stop them from scoring because we should be ahead. Guys.
And it's usually Ole Miss that is the great offensive rebounding team. They have 76 offensive rebounds this year. And the young man we just talked about, Fields, drains one from outside to tie the game at 31.
One thing I like about Amory Fields, yes, he is great with his size at 6'9", but the way he goes out and shoots threes. This guy's got a future, I'm telling you. He can play.
For 6'9" player, he could play that 3 position.
He came into this game only averaging 7 points, but I won't beat a dead horse here, but I will tell you that he has got an excellent shot.
The coaches use this opportunity in November to find their rotation, to get from 8, get down to 7 or 8 top players who are going to see the quality minutes.
Reginald Buckner with a good offensive rebound. He fell and lost his balance and lifted his feet, which created a traveling violation. Gives the ball back to TCU. I'll tell you what, Ole Miss really does rebound the ball on the offensive end really well.
We told you 76 offensive rebounds, leads the nation. They had another 26 yesterday and still lost by 30. Here's McKinney, jump hook will not go. Buckner rebounds. Dundrecous Nelson down the lane.
That's goaltending. Yeah, good call. Nelson with a kind of a cross-court maneuver right there. He had the ball out in front of him, and he saw the opening. Look at this. Looks right, looks left. Goes right down the middle. A little bit of a push there, too. In fact, Anderson gave him a shove as he was going up. But count the goal on a goaltending call.
Nelson with his first 3 points on that long-distance jumper. Give him 2 more, so 5 points for Dundrecous Nelson. Henry pulls it down. Ole Miss, his biggest lead has been 8 points in the first half. Then they allowed TCU to get back in it. And as Laura just told us, the 11 turnovers in the first half, the critical story.
Oh, what a move by Summers. How about that? Jarvis looking for an easy block, and Summers just jackknifed his body and floated underneath of it. That was an outstanding play.
They say he played the best of all the guards in their victory over Drake. And then nobody really played well outside of Terrence Henry in their loss to Marquette.
I got to tell you, I was most impressed with this move. Go back and look at the freshman from Ole Miss. Summers goes in, looks, thinks he's going to get it blocked, and goes right down underneath. Terrific play. I thought McKinney was thinking, I've got this one when he comes in here.
But I think he had to be careful because McKinney has 2 fouls in the first half. Didn't want to pick up his third and have to sit down with 1.5 minutes to play. So Mississippi leads TCU by 4. There is Andy Kennedy. He's won 2 SEC West titles, gone to 2 NITs. Matter of fact, he went to 2 NIT Final Fours. He wants the NCAA tournament this year.
Steve points in the paint so far in this first half. Ole Miss leads 24-14.
Lawrence back in the game with Anderson. So 2-point guards on the floor. The home McKinney, and he misses a wide open slam.
The Rebels have gone to a 2-3 matchup zone, and there was nobody around him.
Dundrecous Nelson's a little out of control, and he charged down that lane.
Nice position down there by Amory Fields to be able to draw that player control foul. Nelson really nowhere to go down there. Was trying to find somebody at the free throw line, but there was nobody there. Let's go back and take a look at this miss again. Adrian McKinney. I mean, there's nobody around him. Oh, that's embarrassing. That is so embarrassing. You got to throw that down, big fella. Ole Miss going to stay in that zone. 2 2 for 3, and they're matching up. Let's see how TCU handles it.
Well, TCU has not shot the 3-ball well in this tournament. For the season, they're only at 23%. Once again, McKinney did not do a wise thing. He put the ball